being single is really something that people need to learn to deal with, you know, like accepting being single. What's up, y'all? It's your girl KAYLINX, the Roman, you feel me? And I'm back. Today I'm gonna be talking to y'all about something. It may hit home for some of y'all, it may not hit home for the rest of y'all. So we're gonna talk about being alone and single, because I feel like somebody had to talk about this. Somebody had to cover this topic. People are always talking about how, you know, this is a mood, I want to bae, I want to be with somebody, but sometimes you need to just dedicate time to yourself, be alone, better yourself, and just focus on you, because if you're not happy, how can you make someone else happy, you know? I'm gonna just tell y'all this. Step number one of being alone and happy is figuring out why you are alone in the first place. You know, you need to sit back and you need to reflect. You need to look at all the situations that you've been in, why they didn't work out, what you could have done different. Of course, most of the time, it's not completely your fault. Actually, all the time, it's not completely your fault. A relationship or friendship or anything is 50-50, you feel me? There's a reason why I say alone and single, because being alone is being to yourself. Being single is like a relationship status, you know? It's there's two different things. Don't worry about what ifs, okay? Because that's just gonna stress you out, and there's never gonna be an answer to a what if, because you didn't do it. You didn't make the decision. Let that shit go to the garbage, to the trash. That's it. Focus on how it went, how you could have went about it differently, and make sure that you carry it on to the next thing in your life. Whatever, you know, connection you have with people, whatever situationship, complicationship, whatever. Figure out what makes you happy. Sometimes the reason why people have an issue, you know, maintaining relationships with people, and when I say relationships, I mean broad. That doesn't really mean just a relationship, because again, alone and single. Sometimes people have relationship problems, like the way they maintain their relationships with others, because they don't know that much about themselves. You need to sit down and take the time to really figure out what you like and what you don't like, you know? Travel doesn't have to go for everybody, you know? Sometimes it's just picking up a book and reading a book, meditating. Some people get high, some people drink. Don't make it a bad habit though, okay? Side note, we don't want anybody, you know, getting into anything that they don't need to be getting into. Drugs are addicting, just be careful. And liquor is easy to pick up, so please guys, do me the favor and just don't make that a common thing that you pick up. Some people party, some people, you know, pick up a hobby. Me myself, I picked up the hobby of doing eyelashes. You guys don't really see me posting it because I want it to stay a hobby. I don't want it to become a job for me, you know? Sometimes when you do something and people pick up that you're doing it well, it starts getting more serious and it doesn't become fun anymore for you. YouTube, I picked up that, and you know, it's grown so much, but I've learned so much about myself. Not only that, but I have also managed to become more extrovert. If anybody personally knows me, I'm somewhat more of an introvert. I'm very quiet, I'm shy, and this has helped me, you know, change overall as a person, and it's been very beneficial, you know? When you're trying to figure yourself out and you end up figuring out more about yourself, you end up having things that are beneficial to you, whether it's financially, emotionally, mentally, physically. Like, who knows? You guys saw me, I was going to the gym. I felt so much happier. So that's definitely one thing that you have to do, try to figure yourself out. But not only that, like, when you're alone and you feel alone, don't feel the need to like blame yourself. Don't ever blame yourself, bro, because sometimes you're put in positions where you're by yourself because there's things that you need to take note of and you need to really pay attention to. Sometimes you deal with certain people in certain situations because there are lessons that need to be learned, and these lessons end up helping you in the long run, because if you don't learn them, you might miss out on a big opportunity. And it's all because you didn't take an L. And this is why I say L's are so important in life. So don't ever take an L as a loss, take it as a learned lesson. If you watched my last video, you know exactly what I'm referencing to. I'm talking a lot about being alone because we're in a pandemic. Things are open, but they're not fully open, so things don't feel regular. You don't socialize as much as before. You know, everybody's online and it's not no person-to-person interaction. Like, yeah, there's apps that you can do that with, but there's nothing like sitting next to somebody and having an intellectual conversation with them. But the real fact is, being single is really something that people need to learn to deal with, you know, like accepting being single. You have to learn to distinguish wanting somebody from needing somebody, you know. For example, I don't need a man, I want a man. Like, sometimes I'm not gonna hold y'all, I be getting lonely, I be wanting to cuddle, I be wanting to, like, you know, go on trips with my boo or whatever, but that's not what's hitting for me right now. So you know what, I'm gonna enjoy my single life and still do what I want to do, still take trips, still lay up in bed and watch movies just by myself and with my pillow. You feel me? Learn to enjoy being alone and single. Stop making it seem like it's a bad thing, because it's not a bad thing at all. It's not. Everybody's different, you know. Some people grow better individually, some people grow better with a partner, but then you have people that make sure that they grow individually and blossom with a partner. So everybody's different, you know. Everybody's different. You can't compare each other, you know. I hate people who do comparisons between each other, because everybody's purpose is different. So you're gonna deal with different things in order to reach different goals, you know. Don't be afraid to talk to yourself. Talking to yourself is essential. I know this shit sound crazy, but it's not crazy. You need to talk to yourself, because only you can see the things inside of you that you need to fix. Yes, an outsider can see things as well that you need to fix, but there's things that you can only see because nobody's in here, okay? Learn to master that, because once you master that, being able to reflect on your own, yo, you're gonna become probably untouchable. Like, I don't think y'all understand. The crazy part about it is, like, sometimes I be getting lonely. That's my secret. I try not to talk about it that much, because people are very judgmental and people always have something that they want to pick at or that they want to bring up, and it's like, nah, y'all not about to do this. Like, I do be lonely, you know, like. And I'm not saying in the aspect of a relationship, because yeah, sometimes I do be lonely in that aspect, but I know it's not a need, it's a want. And I know that someday I keep putting good energy out and eventually I'll get my blessing, you know. That's all right. I realize that when I feel like that, I end up analyzing my life way more, and I end up realizing where I lack and what I need to pick up. That's how everything came up about. This is how KAYLINX came up. This is how YouTube came up. This is how everything, all the content I made came out. You guys sit here like, yeah, sometimes I post on my community page or on Instagram and I'd be like, what do you guys want to see? But do you know that the times that I make videos, it's because I'm feeling lonely and I'm just thinking, and that's probably when I'm my most creative, because I'm alone and I'm in this like bubble where it's just like nobody but me. That's why it's being lonely and single is not the worst thing out here, you know. And understand that nothing is wrong with you for being alone and single. You're finding your inner peace, and once you find your inner peace, guess what comes after that? Happiness. And that's something that a lot of people don't have. You see people with $1 million and they're not happy, but you will see somebody who's living in a apartment that costs $1,800 with only 3 shoes to their name, 5 jeans and 4 shirts, but they're the happiest person you've ever seen. At the end of the day, nothing materialistic beats happiness, because that's something that's inside and that nobody can take from you, bro. Nobody can take an inner happiness from you that you created on your own, you know. And like I said, it's not materialistic. The only reason that I've learned to master that, or attempt to master that, because I'm not even at full potential, you know. I always say this, there's so much more to me to come. I'm not even there. Take care of yourself. That's really important. Self-care is so important. Stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself. Whatever insecurities you have, let them go. You feel me? And if you still really feel deep inside like you want to change something about you, work inside out. Don't work outside in, because you can't go to your soul last. Your soul needs to be first. I call it interior investment, you know. You invest into yourself. Don't get me wrong, yes, money rules the world, but guess what? Like I said, you can have all the money in the world. If this ain't right, nothing feels good. Make sure that you stay in your lane. You know, do what you gotta do. There's people who are gonna be at different paths than you. There's people that's gonna be doing better than you. There's people that's gonna be doing worse than you. But you're in your path, you're in your position, because that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's where you're supposed to be. So don't even stress it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know people that did YouTube and in one day they accomplished so much and it took me like 3-4 weeks or months to do. But am I mad? No, because they're in their path, I'm in my path. Just focus on your empire, because that's your pot of gold, bro. That is your exit to whatever struggle you have. That is the recipe for complete success. So just focus and don't worry about any other lanes, who's in front, who's in back, because of course there's gonna be people in the same lane as you. That's without a doubt. You know, you could be doing lashes like I do. There's a lot of people that do lashes. You could be doing hair. There's a lot of people that do hair. You could be doing YouTube. There's a tons of people that do YouTube. But you are in your position. So don't even stress it, sis or bro. You got this shit. You got it. Just relax. Patience is really key. But that's another conversation. Life is short. Like, don't stress. It's not a race. Life is not a fucking race, bro. Like, take your time. Learn what you gotta learn, do what you gotta do, and get to where you gotta get. Because at the end of the day, everybody already has their story written. I'm heavy on that. I'm heavy on that. What's meant to happen to you is gonna happen to you, and that's that. Emotional intelligence is so fucking important. I took a course of it my last semester of college. It was probably one of the best courses I ever took, because it really helped me grow as an individual and learn so much things about people and myself. So, you know, that's just life, bro. If anybody relates to anything that I'm saying to, please leave a comment below. If you are younger, you may have a harder time, you know, understanding where I'm coming from. But if you don't have a hard time understanding where I'm coming from and you're younger, yo, I give it to you, because not a lot of people can, you know, understand. I don't want to be this boring person. Like, I think I talk about interesting things. I do things differently on YouTube, because I just want people to accept me for who I am and what I do and the way I think. This is how I am with my friends, and this is how I want to be with y'all, because I want y'all to feel like I'm y'all friends. Make sure that you guys are not forgetting to subscribe and like and comment and turn on the notifications. It's your girl KAYLINX, the real me, you feel me, and I'll be back real soon.